Alright, welcome back guys. Turbo Dave here. This is pretty much an update video on the 95 Ford Mustang. I actually got in touch with the old owner, went and seen him, and found out that this block was actually brand new. It's a 306. Forged, all forged internals. Forged crank, forged rod, forged pistons. I don't know if you can see down in the bottom. The block is literally brand new. I don't know if you can see it from here, but literally it is brand spanking new. That has the trick flow heads, but I ran into some problems where the IAC was giving me problems. So I replaced the IAC. The car did the same thing. Had a rolling idle, surging, stalling. So I changed the IAC, did the same thing. I checked the bolts on the TBS. Everything was right. Could not figure it out. I unplugged it. It seemed to idle better, but when you drove it, it lost drivability for some reason. And it's only supposed to control the idle with accessories on, like when you turn the power steering or turn the AC on, which this doesn't have, or any accessory you turn on, it kind of bypasses the air. It raises the idle a bit so it doesn't stall. So what I did, because power steering is going to get removed on this, which that presents another problem, because on 95 you have the reverse rotation water pump and they don't make a idler pulley for the power steering. But what I did on my truck, which is a 2001, it's basically the same setup, except for on the truck it has where this one has a detentioner over here. I don't know if you can see it right there. Underneath it also has an idler pulley, but this one doesn't have that. But it's exactly the same setup, and that has no power steering, which I removed. And underneath it, it still has the AC, and the only thing that's sitting there is the AC. So I guess if it works on that one, what I can do is get the AC delete pulley, mount it below it, because the rack and pinion is leaking like a sieve as well. I don't know. You can see the fluid. It's just leaking right out of the rack. So I want to put manual rack on this and get rid of that, so we can get rid of the power steering. So I'm thinking do the AC delete pulley, mount it underneath, so run it from there across, and then just run a shorter belt. It worked on my truck, so it's exactly the same setup. We'll see. But anyway, so that I found out, it does have forged pistons. It's 30 over 306. Forged rods, forged crank. The trick flow heads, of course, trick flow cam, trick flow intake. But back to the problem at hand was the IAC. So like I said, I changed it, same thing. Unplugged it, it ran, it still surged a little bit. So I went hunting, and they sell a block off for the IAC. And again, all that's supposed to do is just bring the idle up when you turn the AC on, or turn the steering wheel, or anything like that. Where you have all your accessories on. It's supposed to raise the idle a bit. So what I did was did the whole reset with the IAC. It didn't work. I did the complete reset for it. So I got the block off, put the block off on, which is right here. It's the block off plate. Just put it on. Then I checked the bolts for the TBS. And that's still correct. So once I did that, and it's completely eliminated, now you start the car. It starts decent, but it's a little, it seems to run a little, I don't know, it's hard to get it a little warmed up. It does idle higher, but then you kind of gotta hold, it's cold hearted, so you just gotta warm up a bit more. And once it's warmed up, it idles fine. So I guess you can say that did solve the problem with the block off plate. And we did put the nitrous on this car. This kit's adjustable from, I think it's 50 to 250. Yep, we have the purge on it. This car is definitely going to be a no prep car. I do have the, it's going to be turbo eventually. We have, this is the on 3 kit. I have to get the turbo. Few other things, but for now we're going to run the nitrous. But since I finally got this done, I want to get a set of Kohler plugs, put them in, and go test this at Orlando Speed World probably in the next week or so. I'd really love to. But definitely, I found out too as well. This car, they have the gears are 373s. It has strange axles in it, full frame connectors. It did have a drive shaft loop. The transmission was just replaced from the guy before me, and for some ungodly reason, he cut the drive shaft loop out. I don't know why, instead of just unbolting it, but he cut it, so I have to get another drive shaft loop. I need to get some suspension, like drag shocks, some drag springs, and we're just gonna run it in hard tire. Right now it has Mickey Thompson's on it, but we're gonna do hard tire, try to run it in hard tire and see what it does. Because I mean, motor-wise, this whole kit with the heads, cam, the intake, it's supposed to be like a 425 horsepower kit without the nitrous. We have the nitrous set at 150. It's over 5, so that's probably where you're gonna start breaking the block. But it has a safe tune. They have the micro squirt in it right now, so I'm hoping for the best. But we're definitely gonna go test this in the next week or so. So you guys definitely stay tuned. We'll definitely do a track video within the next week. And I'm gonna start ordering some suspension stuff, some turbo stuff, and we'll get to it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.